First two things. Carefully listen. See, in your day-to-day life, you are constantly brooding about, worrying about one problem for more than 2-3 days. Suddenly one morning you find a solution. 2 days you are in peace. Third day, again, you forget the solution. You are back to the same worry. Think about the same thing for 2-3 days. After that, again, third day you find the same solution. You come to peace. After 3-4 days, again, you forget the same solution. Get caught in the same worry. After 3-4 days, again, you find the same solution. Come to peace. How many of you have this problem? Raise your hand. This is what I call pattern. Listen. This is what is pattern. When you did samskara dagana kriya yesterday, means when you are penning down all your pains and reliving, sharing, how many of you discovered almost all your pains have certain pattern? It goes through a same pattern. How many of you discovered? Raise your hand. Please understand, actually all your powerlessness, all your pain moves in a same pattern. One mold is created, you go through that same mold. Again and again, you repeat the same inner image, outer image, and life image. The first pattern you created as your inner image, outer image, life image is root pattern. Listen. The first pattern you created as your inner image, outer image, life image is root pattern. You create this root pattern before the age of 7. First time in your life, try to remember when you felt powerless. It may be as simple as your mom slapping you or your uncle dragging you. Or your brother pushing you down. Before the age of 7, you create this root pattern. First time in your life when you become powerless. The moment I utter these words, how many of you are able to remember some incident? Raise your hand. Even if you don't remember something before the age of 7, if you remember something even 10, 14, if you start reliving them, you will be able to trace it back to before the age of 7. Understand? First time when you felt powerless, relive that incident and try to trace what was your inner image at that moment, how you felt about you at that moment. How you responded to that situation at that moment. That's your outer image. How you responded is your outer image. And how you labeled The people in front of you are the life at that moment. That is life image. Listen. First time when you felt powerless in your life, the inner image you created, the words you uttered about you, in that survival moment, the words you uttered about you, the way you responded, showed yourself to that situation, the idea you created about others and life. These three words you have to dig it out. These three put together is root pattern. First inner image, first outer image, first life image. I'll give you one example. 3 or 4, you are trying to play in the rain, jumping around the street. Your mom sees you, rushes and just gives a good slap and drags you into the room and locks you. Now if you look back, you may think, no, my mother was so concerned about my health. I should not catch cold, cough, fever, so she protected me. Now you can justify. But at that moment, did you feel like that? Demon, devil, she can't stand if I am happy. The first inner image at that time will be, I am powerless, I am being crushed. The outer image, naturally you will be kicking the wall, door, everything you can. Even though you can't break the door or wall, you will be kicking them. Means you always show yourself as aggressive. The inner image will always be powerlessness. Outer image will be always aggression. And the life image, what you will think about your mother? Demon, devil. She can't stand if I am happy. Cruel. I gave this as an example. You dig out and you discover. You dig out, you discover. Then I will listen to some of your first incident and guide you exactly to pinpoint the root pattern. Now first, spend few minutes with yourself and try to dig out. Please understand, there are few things about root pattern. It will always be before the age of 7. You may think, I have 2-3 root pattern. 2-3 also finally will boil down to 1 only. And lust is never a root pattern. Please understand, lust starts only after your body is physically matured. That will always be after 10. Even in the modern days, it is not lowered, then 7. It's always after that. So the lust is not a root pattern. Please be very clear. It is parasite pattern. It comes onto your system when your body is ready. And it will go away when your body is tired. So it is not root pattern, it's a parasite pattern. And the third, you need to understand, the tremendous pain which hides the root pattern need to be broken by meditating on it. Means by sitting and digging it out. And this is the source of all your karma, all your negativity, everything. There is no other negativity inside you other than your root pattern. Root pattern is Maya. Root pattern is karma. root pattern is negativity. There is nothing else need to be done inside you other than removing that root pattern. You will see once you complete with the root pattern, just like how I initiate kids. The moment I initiate the kids, they start reading. Like as if the screen has been removed, they start reading. It will happen for you guys just like that. The moment you complete the root pattern, you will also have your third eye awakened like a screen opening. You don't even need to be sitting and drilling. See, this drilling need to be done because still there is a root pattern remaining. All of you are getting what I am saying? Actually, a little bit of working on the third eye will be like a massaging the third eye. That's the reason I wanted you guys to play a little bit with the third eye. Don't be frustrated. Actually, your batch is much more quick in picking up than the earlier batches. So you don't have to worry about it. Sit with yourself for a few minutes. Go back to that first incident, powerlessness you remember in your life, and try to relive and find out what is the first word you uttered about you. First word you uttered about others. How you showed you to others.